All right, what is the prediction at this time of what's coming next in the middle of all of this, coming up right after this? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Lucky Links, and I enjoyed doing the reading the last time this way, so I'm going to do it again. So this is what I typed everything up. It's on my daily prediction, but I'm going to expand on it again. I got we're going to use the Tibetan Mo. And we're going to use, I'm going to start from the daily energies. Astrologically, what is going on? We're right by a full moon. So you can consider this your full moon prediction. And if you're on my Facebook or Instagram or the like, you can see this printed out. So these are the energies. Right now, we are in, today is an air day with water, wind, lunar energies, and it's the day before a full moon, so be aware you'll feel the craziness. The moon very much influences people's minds and how they think, how they act, how they behave. So be aware of that right now. And while the moon may be making people feel restless, there's some other energies involved that you need to be aware of. So energetically, with it being a air day with water, wind, lunar energies, there is a chance for disharmony. Okay, that water and wind can create disharmony. Okay, be careful out there with your stuff. I have seen these days turn to thievery, so be careful. And people are getting a little desperate right now, so that's going to go up. It is good for agriculture and anything having to do with cultivation of the land. Again, I've typed this all out already, so if you want to see it printed out, look on my Facebook or my Instagram. Planting and sowing seeds, undertaking projects like building and so forth, and then it's excellent for all business and exchange relating to other people and building permanent relationships. Okay, so that's the day's lunar and elemental energies. But then on top of that, what's going on is we're in a metal year and a metal month. We are in a metal year and a metal month. So it's the month of the metal snake. It is the year of the metal rat. Now it's making things feel heavy and frozen and locked down. Okay, all that metal. Now I added the Tibetan Mo on top of it, and when I rolled it, it just added right to it. We got more, so that's double metal. All right, I got double metal. All right, so that sort of weighs things down further. So what we've got here is that's the energy that kind of locks things down further. It can be stubborn, immovable, frozen. When you get a lot of metal together, it creates what we call a hard metal. And metal that doesn't bend real easy, and it can be stubborn, immovable, it can be frozen, it can be grating like steel on steel. So you may feel things that are grating on you. You may feel things are locked down and frozen, and you may feel like that other people are getting on your nerves right now and that you need to be alone. One of the things with metal energy is metal energy actually likes to expand. It either freezes or expands, and you may be feeling right now that you want to expand, you want to spread out, but you may feel like things are locked down and not allowing you to do that. Okay, so that divination says some very specific advice. There's some very specific advice on this full moon as you move forward. What it is suggesting is that you should approach things with equanimity and for the mind to be purified. Okay, so this is equanimity is when you can come at things, all things are equal, and you sort of come at it from a place where you're not being dragged in. So you're not being dragged into your desire. Because when there's so much, and I said this in the last prediction for last week, when there's this much metal going on, it is going to draw fire. So it is going to draw desire, passion, hate. People may be going crazy right now with desire, wanting things, wanting to hook up with other people. Sexual desire is probably going through the roof with a lot of people. And other people are probably going, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to buy that, I want to get out, I want to be around other people. And hate is coming up. And I've actually seen this in readings with people. People are on top of each other, and all the red is coming in, and it's making them get angry and start to sort of hate people. And there's a lot of this going on. I'm noticing that if you try to make people, some people are really grateful when you try to make them laugh, but some other people, you try to make them laugh, they won't go there because they're, so the hate, the anger, desire, all those things are going to be coming in on this metal. What that tries to do, now there's a reason for it. It's not that it doesn't serve a purpose. The fire comes in to try to break up and melt the metal. Like I said in the last week's prediction, what happens after that is water's going to come in, and when water comes in, then it's going to create loss or defense, or it can create isolation, or the need to really be adaptable. Now, next month is going to be a water month. It's the water horse, but that is the war horse. So there are some predictions His Holiness Padma Gampa Rinpoche has made for the year on months. You can take a look at those if you like. If you want to ask him for those, or if you want to connect with me and I'll send you his predictions. These are ones that are a little more daily, based on the divination, what the gods are telling me, and what the daily energies are. And they usually hit the people who are watching these things. Okay, so that's usually what I ask. I ask, what do the people who are watching need to hear, should they hear? So, coming from a place where all is equal, see people's drama, fights, their fear, their desire for what they are. And there's no reason to let your emotions get jogged by those things, or allowing your desire to run you. If you allow your desire to run you right now, it will draw a loss later. Okay? So keep that in mind. And the other prediction and the advice from the gods is, if you stay in a place of equanimity, there will be no obstructions to your aims. So if you find things being challenging today, moving slowly, being locked down, or even over the next week or couple of weeks, the influence of this prediction this time, stay in a place of equanimity and you'll be able to get things done. Okay? Also, if you keep from letting that desire rise and make your mind jump all over the place, you'll get what you need to get done. Okay? So, follow this advice. You could avert negative forces and bad omens. So, it's very important. So this helps you avert negative conditions and bad omens. And then there's another prediction that is not so great. Friends and wealth will be difficult to hang on into in the future. What it feels like and looks like is happening is current tensions are creating schisms between people. Things are being used to divide people. Watch for this stuff, because it's gonna be the key to understanding how to keep friends. And people are arguing over very silly things right now. They're tense, they're worried, they're afraid, they're fighting with each other. And the key is if you can stay in a place of equanimity and not take things personally and not get involved with fighting with them, you'll be able to keep your friends. But it looks like right now there's a lot of things that are being used to create schisms between people. And if you're noticing, people are, they're distancing themselves from other people emotionally. They're distancing themselves from other people in their hearts. They're becoming divided. You need people. Just remember this. You need people. You need friends. You can't do it alone, no matter what you think. The double metal is going to make you think you can, but we need other people. Just remember that. So, and then wealth will be difficult to hang on in the future. There's going to be a good bit of loss. There's going to be a good bit of loss in property. There's going to be a good bit of loss in bank accounts. There's a lot of loss coming. Okay, so these things will be difficult to hang on to the future, and the more friends you got, the more people that you can work with, the easier that's going to be. Stay in that place of equanimity, and you'll be able to see things for what they were, and you'll be able to avert a lot of that garbage, because what's going to happen is while other people are freaking out and fearful, you will be able to spot opportunities that will help you to not put yourself in a position where you're feeling that loss. All right. Very good advice. Abandoning unwholesome tendencies and accomplishing meditation are favored right now. So those of you who are interested in doing a specific meditation that started me on this path of Tibetan Bond, contact me. I'll hook you up with His Holiness Padma Gampo Rinpoche, and he can give you the awareness meditation. It changed my life. Careful with meditation where you sit in a place and your mind is bopping all over and it's just making desire rise, because what's going to happen is that fire is just going to draw water later, and it might create loss later. So if you're sitting in a place, and I've seen this, and this was the problem when I was starting down all this path, and I was just doing meditation on my own. I always found a difficulty with that, people who encourage that meditation where your mind's kind of bopping all over and you're just jumping from one thing to another thing to another thing, and it's just making all this desire rise. That causes a problem. That creates difficulties and obstacles later, because the elemental energy that's coming up when you're doing that draws another energy, and possibly an enemy, to feed on it later. So you have to be careful with that, and those people who are telling you to do that, not so good. Okay, so if this is about an object you lost, if it isn't near where you lost it, it's probably going to be very difficult to find. So if you lost something and you're looking for something, look where you lost it, because that's where it's likely to be. Otherwise, something else happened. It's going to be difficult to find this one. Sometimes we get very specific information from the gods, as you've seen in some of my posts. It's like, look in a southwest direction, look to the south. A woman has it to the north. This one is, if it's not where you lost it, it's going to be a challenge to find. Things can only be accomplished slowly, so people may not come, and there's an equal chance either way of them coming or not coming. So if you're waiting or hoping for someone to come, or someone to arrive, or to be in a situation where you can get people to come to you, stuff like that, it's an equal chance. Yes, they may not. And things can be accomplished slowly. So watch for things to be accomplished slowly. Don't expect quick right now. So if you're waiting for something to come through, or you're dealing with bureaucracy or something, slow is the way that it's going to go, especially with all this metal energy. And then to sum it all up, this divination is really about fearlessness. So it's about removing the energy, removing the fear that stands in the way and causes obstacles. So the fear, when you're coming from a place in equanimity, you're not plugging into that fear that then plugs into all the obstacles, the bad omens, all that stuff that comes later. Okay, so that's it. That's your full moon prediction right now, and it's gonna last a little while. Well, I'm gonna do something special next week. Next week I'm gonna draw up a crystal mirror, which is it's pretty cool. Those of you who are my clients who've had the crystal mirror done, you've been like, it is a really cool thing. I just had a client yesterday who did the crystal mirror and was like, this is everything I was wanting to ask and more. It shows the entire situation, what's going on. And the cool thing about it is it doesn't just, sometimes when we're doing divination, and there is a use for this, I am not knocking this, there is a use from it. Sometimes the divination just shows what's going on with the ego. That can be very useful if you know how to use it and you know what it's telling you. If you're using divination and it tells you, hey, this is what the ego is going to experience here, well then you can kind of predict what a person's going to feel, experience, and know. There's other kinds of divination too, where you could look deep into the elemental energy of things, and when you do that, wow, it's a mind blower. So the crystal mirror is one of those things that does that. I'm going to be doing a crystal mirror next week for a prediction. So whenever I do the prediction next week for the coming week or something, I'm going to do a crystal mirror on it and combine it with some of these energies. I will probably add some of this to it, and and maybe some I Ching too. So that's it. That's your full moon prediction. I'm Lucky Links. As always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you'd like to get a crystal mirror done, or if you'd like to get your cards done, or if you'd like to get a reading, or take a course with me, or get your Tibetan Astrology Chart. Yes, I do have a lot of people, but I'm telling you, it's all of us cosmologers are getting really backed up. So it is a time where people are more and more and more going to want to get this done, because it is a very unusual time, and these things show you exactly kind of what's going on from your birth conditions and why you're here. And in some cases, the astrology chart shows it. In some cases, you got to go further into the cosmology. It's just the way it is. So if you'd like to get any of these things done, or take a class with me on how to read playing cards, the people in the playing card class are doing some very unusual exercises now, and it's very fun to watch, because they're very fun and they are really kind of risk takers, and it's forcing people to take real risks and change who they are. It's really fun to watch. If you'd like to take the advanced playing card class, or class on how to read Mexican Loteria, class on how to read tarot, Lenormand, or crystal ball reading, any of those classes, contact me, 779-302-8009, conjurehope@gmail.com. I do not teach people how to read the Tibetan Divination. However, His Holiness Padma Gampa Rinpoche is teaching how to do Mo Divination and Khil Khor's right now. And if you'd like to take it with him, he is teaching that right now. And that's it. Those of you who've donated, thank you so much, who just donate. You guys are wonderful. I really appreciate the donations. If you like this information and it's helping you, and you want to donate to help keep it coming, well then, please, I will put my PayPal, my Venmo below. So that's the prediction for the full moon. Have a safe full moon, and I'll talk to you guys soon.